Hi, I am Balaji Chipada and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In continuation of our Python series for data science, in this video we are going to learn very important topic called GroupBy, and it is very helpful function and we will be using it day to day even as a data scientist right now. So it is very helpful for you to understand how GroupBy works and what are all the other manipulations that we can do on top of GroupBy. I will not be explaining what is GroupBy theoretically, so we will be diving into the notebook immediately, and we will also do some basic filtering on top of datasets as well. So we will be covering those two in this video. So let's get started. As usual, let's start by importing our packages. I'm importing pandas as pd and numpy as np. And I have this dataset called movies underscore data.csv, and I will be providing the link to download in the description below so that you can use it for your purpose. It's a movies dataset and I have around 7 columns and around 1000 records in my dataset. Let me explain the data a little bit. If you look at the column called title, you can consider these as the movie names. I have movie 1, movie 2, movie 3 in sequential order because it is a dummy data set, and I have the star rating for each of the movie. It is out of 10 points how much stars that people has given. It's 8.6, 7.1, 7.7 likewise. And we have the content rating of the movie as well, whether it is R rated or PG rated, something like that. And we have genre, whether the movie is of crime genre or horror movie or adventure movie or action movie likewise. And we have the duration in minutes. Actually 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, right? If I say around 124 minutes, it's approximately 2 hours, right? So likewise we have the duration in minutes as well, and we have the actors list. It is also dummy data right now because we have actor 1, actor 2, actor 3 likewise, but in real life scenario you can consider them as the actor names that you have. Now on top of this dataset we are going to extract some meaningful insights that we want using pandas filters and GroupBy. Now let's load the dataset into a data frame df equal to pd.read csv, and I have this dataset here and I have 1000 rows and 6 columns, and I do have the index column here. And now we can see the high level information using df.info, and I can see that I have 1000 records and all of these are columns and none of the columns are having null values. Hopefully that is clear, and it is good, right? We don't have any null value, so we don't need to deal with it. And if you want to know how to handle null values, you can just watch our previous video. We have covered null value treatment in data frames extensively. Now let's say I want to extract the movies in which the star rating is greater than 9. That makes sense, right? If I want to watch movies for my quality time, I would have to filter the movies which are of top rated. So I'm saying df of, okay, inside this we have to choose the column on which you want to do filtering on, and I'm saying greater than 9. It will show me all the records. There are 194 records in which star rating is greater than 9, and I can extract the titles of these movies by adding something like this. So if I do this and if I execute this next column, so these are all the movie titles in which a star rating is greater than 9, so I can keep it in my list, watch list, right? So likewise we can do the filtering. Now I want to discard all the movies which are less than 7.5. How can I do it? It is just the same code, but instead of greater than you will say less than 7.5, and these are all the movies that I don't want to watch personally, and based upon your preference you can choose to put what kind of rating you want. Hopefully that is clear. And I can achieve the same thing using np.where as well. And if I use this here, I'm saying df.lock, and remember in case of lock you need to provide the actual index values, and that is what I'm getting when I say np.where. So when I execute this separately, I will get the indexes at which star rating is greater than 9. These are all the indexes, right? And now I am passing those indexes inside my df.log. So that is where I'm getting all of these things. So either you can choose to do df.log and np.where, or you can directly use this filter function. So usually in industry we prefer this, but at times we have to use this as well. So I'm explaining both of them in detail, and then we can mix and match multiple combinations as well. Let's say I want to watch movies which are around 2.5 hours of time. What is 2.5 hours? It's basically 150 minutes, right? And then the star rating should be greater than 9. And one thing I want to prioritize here is when you are doing multiple conditions inside your data frame, you have to start one condition and end the condition inside this parenthesis, and then inside it you have to use either AND operator or operator, or else you can say AND or as well, it's up to you. And then the next condition should be enclosed inside the parenthesis again, then only it will work. So I have these two conditions, and if both of these conditions are met, then only I will retrieve those records. Hopefully that is clear. And I got, this is the data set in which I have star rating is greater than 9 and the duration is greater than 150. Now let's understand what will happen if I do something like this. Okay, if I execute it, it is going, where is it? It is going to throw you a value error saying that the truth value of series is ambiguous, use empty or bool and all of that stuff. So to avoid these kind of errors, you have to keep every condition inside your parenthesis like this and do your manipulations on top of it. Now this will work. And then I can do multiple conditions as well. Now I'm saying star rating, let's say less than 8, okay, and duration greater than 150, and content rating should be R. If I execute this, now I get all the records in which content rating as R based upon this condition, and duration is greater than 150, that is also valid, and star rating is less than 8. So inside DF, I can do as many possible operations as I can to get me the details that I want. Hopefully that is clear. And I would want you to try out yourselves, guys, multiple combinations, check it out yourselves and code it. Then only you will understand all of these things in detail. And if you notice, every condition I am keeping inside a parenthesis here, so that I will not encounter any of the value error messages. And I can just do this as well. Instead of or, I can just use this, and this is basically on top of the enter keyword in the keyboard. You can check it out. Instead of this, you can say or as well. So it's basically or condition, so it will check whether either DF star rating should be greater than 9 and DF duration should be greater than 200. So it will check for both of these conditions. If you see here, star rating is 9.2, but here duration is 95. But even though I'm giving duration is greater than 200, it came into the output because of or condition. And then I can do multiple number of filters, guys. It's up to you what you want to extract from the data set using these filters. Hopefully that is clear. And if you have any queries so far in the section, please let me know. Now let's say I created a list of ratings, okay, R rated, PG-13 rated, not rated, PG, and unrated. Now what I want to do is I want to filter my data set in which the content rating should be from any of these things. Now if I execute this by using a function called .isin, so I'm saying df of and df of content rating, the column that I want, saying is inside my list. And if I execute this, I get this. So I have R, PG-13 on all of this stuff. Now what if I delete these three? Okay. Now here I got 1000 records. Now I'm keeping only two content rating lists. And if I execute this, so I get only 321 records, and these only contain either R or unrated. So likewise, you can choose to select only some specific columns or records inside your dataset as well. And I can get the same thing using lock and np.where as well. So it's up to you on how you want to get the output. And we have another important operator called not operator. Now let's understand what is this. So here I have a genre column, right? Now on a high level, I want to see what are all the different genre that is present inside my data set. So I can just say df dot the column, and I will say unique. So what it will give me is, it will give me all the distinct values inside your genre column. So I have either crime or horror or adventure or action or comedy. Now here what I'm doing is I'm creating two lists. One is related to content rating and second is related to genre. And what I'm saying is df of, let's forget about this for now, okay? I'm saying df of content rating is inside my list. So keep only the records in which content rating is either R or PG-13, or maybe df of genre should be either inside crime, action or adventure. So if I execute this without this negation parameter, let's delete this. And if I execute this, I get the data set in which either the content rating is R or PG, and I have this or condition here, and the content genre is basically crime, action, adventure. Now if I do negation here, This you can find it below your escape button on your keyboard on the top left corner. So what it will do is it will remove these records that we have got as an output, and then it will return the other records. If you see, I have only 137 records. So these dataset doesn't contain any of the content rating as R or PG-13, or the genre as crime or action or adventure. It is basically the opposite of the what we would have achieved rather. Hopefully that is clear. Now let's understand the unique function. And we have just learned about unique, right? I have these many numbers. Now I can count the number of unique characters as well using n unique. So if I do this, I get number 5 actually, because we have 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully that is clear, and I can do it for multiple columns as well. And if I do df content rating dot n unique, I get value as 3, saying that I have rpg and pg-13. Hopefully that is clear. And if you have any queries so far, please let me know in the comment section below. And we have one more important function called value counts. Let me print my df here. And if you see, I have 1000 records, and in 1000 records I have a genre column in which it could contain any 5 elements like crime, horror, adventure, likewise. But I want to see how many crime records we have and how many adventure records we have. That is where value counts comes into picture. So when I say df of genre dot value counts, it is going me to return the count of each category inside your dataset. So out of my 1000 records in which there are no null values in the genre, and out of those, horror movie is having 218 records, adventure is having 216 records, action is having 195 records. Likewise, you can get the multiple distinct values inside the particular column and how many times they are occurring inside your data set. And I can just filter something like this, and I can just only get action. If I see here, I have 195 records, and if I see the action here, I got 195. So the by using value counts, I can get to see how many times a particular value got happened or occurred inside your dataset. Now let's learn about the important function called GroupBy function in DataFrames. Let's load this dataset again. And if I see the value counts, as we already know, we have horror as 218, adventure likewise. And now I'm filtering the genre based upon the adventure. I got this dataset in which it has 216 rows, and it only has genre as adventure. We can consider this as a set of records in which genre equal to adventure. Okay, but we do have other genres as well, like horror, comedy, and like those. So if you want to get those different sets, then you need to update your parameter here and execute multiple times the same piece of code, right? That is where group by will help you actually. What group by will do is it will group by a similar value inside your data set. So if I say group by of column genre, it is going to find out what are all the possible options that this genre column has, and it will split the dataset based upon the each genre. I will explain that in detail in a bit. If I do like this, group by of genre, and if I execute this, I will not get anything except but pandas core group by. But on top of it, we can do get group by of adventure, and if I execute this, I get the same output like this one, but using a group by function. So what it did is, let's say this is your whole data set. Okay, this is your D, and this is your genre column, and this can contain multiple values, right? Maybe adventure, horror, comedy, action. So what it does is it split this data set into multiple chunks. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's say D1, D2, D3, D4, and D5. And we can assume that the first chunk contains genre as adventure, second one contains genre as action, third one contains genre as comedy. Likewise, when you say group by of genre column, it did split it all of your data sets accordingly for each value inside your genre column. And when I say get group of that particular value, it is going to return me that data set. Hopefully that is clear. So inside this, you have the genre column, and here it only contains adventure values. In this data set, it will only contain action values. So likewise, it is grouping your data based upon the column values that you specify. Hopefully that is clear. And I can say action here. And if I execute this, I get only the genre in which it is action. You can also do group by of multiple columns. So how it will do is, now we are saying group by of genre and content rating, right? And genre contains these values: crime, horror, adventure, action, and comedy. And content rating can take these values are PG and PG-13. So when I say group by, it is going to create multiple combinations in which genre is crime and content rating is R, and how many of those records it will keep inside one data set. And then it will check for crime and the content rating as PG, how many of them are in, and it will keep it in second data set. It is crime and R, it is crime and PG, and then we have another data set which is crime and PG-13. And once it is done, now it will go to the next one, horror. We have another data set, horror and R. So it will check for all the possible combinations that you specify inside your group by, and it will split your data accordingly, and you can access all of those things. So if I say like this, group by genre and content rating, and I am saying get group comedy and PG-13, that means you do a group by of this one and filter the data set in which genre is comedy and content rating is PG-13. And if I execute this, I can see the output like this. See, I have only PG-13 and comedy. So I do have the possible combinations of these many, but I'm just only filtering out by using get group function. And now once you separated your data sets, there are multiple things that you can do. So if I say df, this is our df, and then I'm filtering the genre as action, and if I am doing dot sum, what it will do is it will take all the numerical columns that are present inside your data set, and it is going to make a sum of it. So when I do like this, here it splitted my dataset based upon the genre is equal to action. And if you see, I have star rating as a numerical value and duration as a numerical value, right? It is going to add the duration of all the records in which genre is action. So I get 26398, and it is going to add the star rating as well, 1607. Hopefully that is clear, and it is just merging the other stuff with the string data type. And I can do something like this, df dot group by genre and sum. I will get this one. So what I'm saying is, based upon the genre column, I am doing a dot sum. So what dot sum will do is it will pick up the numerical columns inside your data set, which is star rating and duration, and it is going to sum up for this. So how do you read this one? So in my genre as action, let's say there are 150 movies, and out of all of those movies, the addition or sum of the star rating is 1607 and the total duration is 26398. So if someone asks what is the total duration of the movies in which it is adventure category, then you can just do group by of this one and sum, you can get this number. So likewise, you can do mathematical operations on top of group by as well. I can specifically do only the operations on separate columns, so that is where aggregate comes into picture. So what I say, df dot group by of genre dot aggregate, and aggregate takes a dictionary as an input, so it is a dictionary, and as usual dictionary has key and value, right? And inside key you need to pass your actual column name, and inside the value you have multiple operations like minimum, maximum, count, mean, sum. There are a couple of things, you can check the documentation for these ones, but I'm going to show you a couple of examples. So what I'm saying is df dot group by of genre and aggregate the duration column, and I want to sum of it. So if I execute this, I get this one. So for each of the genre category, I have the total duration, and I can get the maximum, and I can get the minimum, and then I can also get mean value as well, and I can get the count. The count, what it will do is it will just count number of records, and I can also get mean by this method as well, but it is preferred to use dot aggregation because I will show you the power of aggregations in a bit. And I can just do a reset of index, and when I do dot reset of index, it is going to create one more index column out of it. If you see this output here, this is an index column, and these are your two columns of your data set. And when I do reset index, this index column will be a part of your data frame, and you will have new index which is starting from 0 1 2 3. Likewise, we have learned in the previous videos, right? So when I do reset index, it is going to return something like this. And then what if someone asks like this, get me all the different kind of genre and their content rating and how many movies are present inside of it. So what I can do is I can do group by of genre and content rating, and I'm getting the only title. I'm just doing a count. So how do you read this one? So if the genre is action, and inside this there are three possible combinations of content rating, right? So there are 63 movies in which the genre is action and content rating is PG. If you take this number, there are 54 movies in which the genre is crime and the rating is PG-13. So likewise, you can get the high level stats of the whole dataset by using a group by. And then I can do multiple operations, guys. I can do group by of multiple columns and do duration, and I can do sum dot reset index. I can do all the possible combinations that you can think of using Pandas data frames group by operations. Here if you see, I have action and I have content rating as PG, and the total duration for those is 8,387 minutes. And I can get the max, and then I can do filters as well. We have already seen this in the previous videos. And now we can also include multiple column aggregations at a single time. So if you see this one, I'm saying import numpy df.groupby. I'm doing group by of content rating, okay, and then I'm taking the star rating column as a primary column. Let me show you the df in a minute. So I am doing a group by of the content rating column, and then I'm getting the star rating column, and on top of the star rating column I am saying calculate mean, median, sum, max and min. So if I do a group by of this, what I will get is, in my whole data set in which there are so many movies of different content ratings, and if I talk about PG content rating, the star rating statistics for those categories are like this: mean is this one, median is 8.4, sum is 2792, max is 9.5, min is 7.0. So likewise I can get all the different stats by using group by and aggregation functions. Now I can do aggregation functions based on two different columns as well. Here what I am saying is group by genre and then do aggregations, but I want to average the star rating and count the content rating. I don't want to do the same operation on same different columns. I want to do two different operations on two different columns. And if I go execute this, I get this as an output. Hopefully that is clear, and I can add as many columns as possible in this dictionary, guys. So that is the power of aggregate functions. And I can say like this: df.group by genre, aggregate star rating, mean and content rating as count. And inside this I can even do a sort by as well. So there is this keyword parameter called sort equal to true and sort equal to false, and it is the basic sorting mechanism, guys. It is self-explanatory as well, but if you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section below. And then we have n groups and n unique as well. N groups and n unique is going to get you the same one but for different functions. Here I can just a df.genre.n unique, it will give you 5, and I can do the same thing by using group by as well. And size is also going to be returning almost the same one. It is basically the count of each section inside your group by. Hopefully you learned something new from this video, guys, and this is a powerful function called group by combined with aggregations, and we will be using them day to day in the data science field. And I would highly appreciate you practicing those things by your hand rather than copy and pasting from the Google. Just type it out: df dot group by of column dot aggregate, all of these things, and visualize the output and understand what is happening in each of these functions. Hopefully I have made this topic easy for you to understand, and if you are liking what you are watching, please do subscribe and click that bell icon daily to get notified, and we will meet in the next video. Bye bye.